Welcome all back to the No Tact Talk podcast, where the only rule here is to have no tact. Y'all, we back again, okay? I told you the last couple of episodes, since I have moved a couple months ago, that we're going to get back into it, okay? This is the first one that we're going to get back into. I met this gentleman through other people who also motivate people and also make it their business to push positive content out into the, the airways, atmospheres, or whatever you want to call it. Amazing guy. But I'm gonna go ahead and read his bio to get straight into it. We got my boy K.Noel. He's the founder of Relentless Motivational Group. He is a husband, author, podcaster, blogger, and a motivational speaker. He is the author of Unlocking the Treasures from Within and Be Relentless. The name of his podcast is The Pursuit of Passion, soon to be changed to Relentless Conversations. I love that. I like the transitions. It's more of an aggressive type thing. I like that. Oh yeah. And then he also helps introverts to develop a relentless mindset that will take them from being an underdog to discovering and developing a leader inside, so that you can thrive in your purpose with boldness and clarity. With all that being said, welcome. Insert applause here to K.Noel.
What's going on, sir? Man, I appreciate you inviting me on, man.
Yes.
I finally made it. Mama, I made it.
Oh, no. I think you got the first person to say that. I think people just notice the consistency of something. I heard some other day said people aren't really proud of you. They're just surprised you kept going.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. They're just like, oh, you still doing that, huh? And you know how people be like, well, that's your little podcast. That's your little side thing. Like, no, this is real. So yeah, man, I appreciate it. What's life like in your world?
Man, everything is good, man. I'm multitasking, man. We got some high school basketball tournaments going on my job. So nice. Before I hopped on here, I was taking phone calls. So but man, everything is good. Just working on a few things. Literally on my other screen got a video that I'm editing. So yeah, man.
What do you use to edit with? That's a good question.
Adobe.
I'm still using. So I use Final Cut Pro. Everybody keeps telling me get the whole Adobe suite and everything, but I don't know. I got it for free, so it's like I don't want to let it go because it's like a $500 software.
I just can't. Now, how did you get it for free?
My wife used to work at Apple, and so that's one of their softwares that they put out. And right before she was leaving, because she in school to be a PT now.
Okay.
We use all the discounts. We got the laptop I'm using right now, the MacBook. Hey, it's like half off. We got the what we get, another cell phone. We use it all up, and then that was a part of it too. But that's the software they use for like students, like in school and everything. So I was able to get that thing.
Yeah. I get discounts through because I work for a university.
Okay.
So I get discounts on the Adobe platform.
Oh yeah. So you winning? There you go.
Yeah, and then I get the Microsoft Office for free.
See, well, I get that through work. The Army, they want you to have that too, so that works out as well. But I have to do it at work because when I was in school, I would have to do all my stuff on my work computer. So I get what that means. Yeah. What university is it?
Georgia College and State University.
Okay. Yeah. So just so y'all know, people that know I'm in Texas, it's a 2-hour difference. We made it work. You all on the East Coast. I'm on Mountain Time. I never thought I would be on Mountain Time ever. Like we drove down here, and I'm telling you, we're in El Paso, right? And so it's not a lick of grass. Like my backyard has like turf in it. Whoever sells gravel out here has to be a billionaire because they use rocks, gravel, statues, like rock statues for decoration. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Oh. Now, how far is El Paso from San Antonio?
Let me see, about 9 hours. No.
Okay. San Antonio is my team, man. If Pop ever needs me, I will move out there. So Pop, if you're watching this, if the Spurs need a little bit motivation, because we need you to break that record, just holler at your boy.
I know that's right. We just came from Austin, so we was like an hour and a half away from Austin. So we was always in San Antonio, the Riverwalk, Spurs games, the little needle they have. Yeah. We went to see the Alamo. And it's the most boring thing ever. Like I'm not really a history. It's boring. Like they even have a little things where you can take the headphones or some little voice recorder, and as you walk, it'll like ping something and tell you like, yeah, the Alamo did this and the Alamo did that. I'm just like, yes. Anyway. Yeah. So Relentless Motivation Group. Tell us about that.
Man, so okay. So after I wrote Unlocking the Treasures from Within, I went through a drought season, 7 years. After I wrote that book, we expect things. Most people, when they become entrepreneurs, all this kind of stuff, they expect everything to be popping right then and there. Like we have the vision, God shows us what's going to happen. We thinking it's going to happen tomorrow. Well, it didn't happen. It didn't happen that next day.
Okay.
So I gave up. And I went on a 7-year hiatus. I didn't write nothing. I had plans of stuff that I wanted to do, but I wrote nothing. I didn't release nothing else, all kind of stuff. So probably about 5 years into that drought, I was playing 2K.
Okay.
And one of the announcers, as I was playing the game, he said Relentless. Relentless stood out for me for some reason. So I started studying, what is relentless. And when I started realizing what was relentless, that word, it just started lingering inside of me.
Okay.
So then we hit 2020. I think everybody went through some kind of changes in 2020.
For sure. Yeah.
And in 2020, right before the whole world shut down, me and my wife, we was going through some difficulties.
Okay.
We freshly married. You know how that goes.
Nice. Congratulations.
Hey, well, now it's what? 5 years, going on 6.
I think we're at 5 in August. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be 6 in May. So
okay.
So yeah, but we was going through some stuff, and we went through a slight separation. I kid you not, at that moment, it was almost like it was designed. And at that moment, that's when the world shut down. So, and I was working from home, and I was faced with myself. Okay. It was at that moment. I used to tell people, sometimes God will put you in a corner where you're stuck with nothing, but you have to face yourself. Because let's be real about it. A lot of times we like to run from the corrections we need to make, the changes we need to make. And God has to put you in that corner where you have no choice but to listen to him.
Yeah.
So, and I was put in that corner, and that's when Relentless fully came forth.
Okay.
And that's when the book Be Relentless came forth. Because it was at that point I realized I had to make some change. I had to make changes in my life first.
Like what? Then, if you don't mind. Just not going too deep, but just to give people an idea. Because usually people will know, like, I need to fix this, need to fix that. But like, what did that look like for you as far as the process?
I was passive.
Okay.
And I knew that because in my past, I was a game banker.
Okay.
So, the game banger mentality, and then you go to getting saved. So I had become passive, and I became soft. Everything that I was going after, it was a passive approach. Even in terms, let's be real about it. In my marriage, it was a passive approach. I wasn't aggressively doing what I needed to do to make changes in the marriage. And so it was at that moment that I realized a passive approach ain't gonna work. If you want to attain some goals, if you got dreams you want to attain, even your marriage, all of that stuff, you got to be relentless. Because there will be times you're going to want to give up. There will be times people on the sideline, I call them the opposition. They'll be talking their talk. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't say this if I was you. This ain't going to work. Maybe you shouldn't marry that person. But if you don't listen to them and you focus and take that relentless approach, you're going to keep going. That won't stop you.
Yeah. So how do you become relentless? Like, what did you do to get in them to do the 180 from passive to being relentless?
It started with my mind.
Okay.
I realized and not only did it start in my mind, I said I was at home, and then I was working from home. Working from home, so to speak.
Yeah.
But I had to face myself. I had to look in the mirror. I had to realize, okay, if I want to get to point B, what adjustments I had to be real with myself. What adjustments do I need to make? What changes do I need to make? And I realized, okay, if I'm going to make these changes, I need to stick to it. I need to really dig in and let's get to it. Is it going to be pretty? Heck no.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes to be relentless. It's a relentless mindset. So that's what it means for me to be relentless. It first starts in your mind. You gotta acknowledge what changes do I need to make, and you have to be willing to want to make those adjustments.
So for me, I always use myself as an example. I'm a super hard learner. Like we call it in the military, blunt force trauma, right? Or if it's like one of my soldiers get in trouble, I say, hey, I don't want you to have a significant emotional event off of what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
But I know that because of me. I had to grow up like I've never learned anything easy, like nothing worth nothing easy. I don't know how, but I've always had to put myself in situations to, like you said, I had no other out. You know, like even in the morning, I was just talking to my wife about this. Getting up in the morning. Let's start there. I got 3 alarms. One is like work. One is like, nah, for real, work. And the other one's like, you will get fired. It says that when it pops up. So as I'm reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, I would probably get in trouble. And I just kind of roll out to bed. But that's like every day. Like I have little things like that to just keep me on track. And then, but at work, I'm having to be that person for like maybe I think 6 other people. And then so down 6 down and then 2 up, right? So 2 people above me that have to see me in a light. That perception has to be like, good. And so one of my soldiers, he said, how do you do it? And I told him, I said, I ain't trying to the front to be the guy. I said, I'm just trying. I'm trying to cuss. I said, I'm just trying not to be garbage every day. Like legit. And he was like, no, you great. I said, I'm saying all these things, y'all, because I'm like, hey, we're gonna be everything you do. I'm like, hey, okay, we got this mission today, go do that. And then before they leave, I have a thing like, go be great. You got it, son, whatever, right? Because I made it subliminal to where the next day he was like, we're gonna go be great. He was like, oh, that's what Sergeant Coach be saying, But anyway, so I told him, I said, I have to get up a little bit earlier. I'm just giving him like my flow. Like I had to make sure everything I'm gonna ask y'all for that day. Let's just say, make sure you want to have like a pen, stuff we need for the day. Make sure my uniform straight. Make sure I shaved or whatever. I said, how am I gonna come and rah to y'all if I ain't got mine together, right?
Yeah.
And I said, that's off the strength of me just not being a hypocrite. It's nothing. It's not like a secret sauce. Yeah. It's just I don't want to look stupid later, Yeah. And that's just for me. But I always like to pick people's brains on how they become relentless or become their best selves, because results may vary, I guess, for different personality types. You think so?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll be honest, man. There are some days that I'm just like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
And I had to tell my coach that. Shout out to Ariana. So, hey. But and she knows that because I'm stubborn. Mm-hmm. I can be very stubborn sometimes. So, and I sometimes I need that push. Mm-hmm. And even as leaders, sometimes people have to give us a push too. Yeah, we may make it look easy, but man, it gets rough sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that what we were doing and what you was hearing, I forgot what were we doing a while back? You was on the Clubhouse. I forgot what we even called it.
The shift.
Yeah. That's really that was so fun for me because that was us kind of just airing it out, right? Yeah. We always want to be in the room of the billionaires or the whoever the content creators or whatever we're trying to get into. And that was us like giving people like, okay, we're out here saying we're this, we're that, we're doing it. We're making it look easy when you see the clips and, do this, be a part of this newsletter, whatever. But, especially me and Coach Vic, like we be talking about like, man, editing is tough. Man, having consistent ideas is tough. Getting people to do whatever is tough. And I think that helps us as creators, because I think we have one of the hardest jobs being content creators and creatives.
Man, do you know how sometimes I get tired of creating? and don't get me wrong, I love to do it. And especially getting little videos. I probably do a voiceover and get some videos from here and there. Yeah. But sometimes you just get tired of doing it sometimes.
Because it's like, who motivated me? Like, who's in my corner? it's a interesting field to be in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I always wonder, I guess we contribute this to God, I always wonder where creatives in general can get the wherewithal to be impactful. So whether it be through art or, on the mic,
Yeah.
whatever else, is like, why do we a question I always ask is, why do we even care? Why do you care about motivating people? Why do you care about, making sure people see the light or get out from, that rock they was under?
Yeah. I tell you one thing that pushes me.
Yeah.
Because I like what you just said. One thing that pushes me is I think about where I used to be. That's those 7 years where I needed somebody. And so I want to be that voice for somebody. I think about, man, Tupac's one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. We don't talk about that on here. Let me write that down. Go ahead. Tupac. Go ahead.
One thing Pac said is, I want to be that voice, that may trigger that next person.
Yeah.
To be that great person. I'm paraphrasing. And I think about that. I may not ever be the Eric Thomas or something like that. But I can spark the thoughts and spark the brain or spark something in that next person who can be even greater than Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
And they can go back from years from now that, man, I was looking at a video from K.Noel. I was looking at a video from Jay, and man, it just sparked something in me. And I think about when I was gangbanging and stuff, my uncle, he used to always talk to me. One thing, he was in the Air Force. Make sure I don't say that wrong. He was in the Air Force. And one thing about it, if you ever had contact with my uncle, he's gonna impact your life with some kind of story. Yes, some kind of story he's gonna tell you.
For sure.
And I'll never forget those times when I was young. I used to go to the gym with him. No offense about this, but I would never work out with nobody in the military ever again in my life.
Yeah,
but he planted some seeds in me. He planted seeds in that gangster at the time that impacted K.Noel. And at that time, you know how they look at street guys.
Yeah.
And it's no point of even saying anything, trying to put any words, drop any seeds in them. But why not? It may not grow at that time, but eventually it's going to grow. We expect things to change, or we speaking to somebody's life, we expect things to change and evolve right then.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's not realistic. So you're talking about probably about a 10-year time frame.
Yeah.
From the time he dropped that seed in me to the time I actually utilized that seed, and that seed grew. So, I think about that sometimes. That's sometimes my motivation for creating, especially when I don't feel like.
Yeah, I just, for me, I make sure. So before, like, if I have like a little hiatus or something, I make sure that I'm happy doing it.
Yeah.
You know how we always say, hey, even if you mopping floors and you happy, go with that. I think about my brother. He's a nurse and he loves his job too, but he always wanted me to do what he did, which is perfectly, it's a brotherly thing. He want to be a firefighter. I want to be a firefighter. He want to be in the medical field. I can't do the blood thing. Like, I'm in the military, all this type of stuff. When I hear about stuff like that, like even the bedpan or like doing a little thing. Or point is medical stuff, but I was like, it ain't for me. But I remember talking to him and I said, well, if I was working at Wendy's and I was fulfilled, I would rather have that. It might not be the most lucrative job in the world, but I have to make sure, like, okay, is no tact talk, the whatever I'm doing, does it still make me happy? I'm like, yes, okay. Well, we got a lot of work to come with that. I know we still got to do it. And so then it becomes like a labor of love. And I legit remind myself and go through the steps. Like, why did I start this in the first place? Is this something that's still important to me? That's something I want to touch on with you as well is, okay, seasons of creativity. So if I might, let's just say like you, I might want to write a book one day. I do not have any plans right now to write a book, but it might hit me one day off our conversation, right? It's like, okay, right now I'm focusing on my podcast. I know we talked about the network. So like I got my first show, had 3, right? I tell you, I had 3. Now I got one solid one because one guy, he wasn't, I shouldn't be doing all this for you, you know. And then another guy, we talked about that kind of back channels, but I got one good, solid, quality podcast coming out probably next week or so on the No Tact Talk Network, and that excites me. So I'm like, yeah, right. But I had to make sure because now I'm like responsible for this thing again, two things. And then back in my head, like, oh man, like this is different. It's not about the stuff that I'm talking about. Like, so it might be competing then, but no, it's on the network. It's all these just different thoughts that I feel like that people don't really hear about. They just hear about the good stuff. And they, you know, then you have those creators that come on and this is my bad day. This is one bad event, but they're not talking about all the ins and outs. So as far as your creative process and your, you know, down moments and as far as the why did you do things, like how do you maneuver through all those thoughts? Like in more specifics.
So let's talk about my downtimes.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm in that downtime now. Mm-hmm. I recently experienced something that it blew. It hit me, man. It was like a gut check.
Yeah.
And the way it hit my mental, it was like, man, I am mentally tired right now. Mm-hmm. But I kid you not, that's when the relentless motivator kicked in. And, you know, I started listening to some of my other podcast episodes. And I started getting,
Oh, snap. Okay.
And I started getting some motivation from that. That gave me a push. I probably listened to some other podcast episodes, but I'm also like somebody may share something with, man, you got to check this out. But if it line with what I'm going through right now, because you got to be careful with your energy. Because you may listen to something that may bring you down when you're trying to get out of that hole that you're in. So if it doesn't align with trying to help me get out of that dark place that I'm in, I don't listen to it. So I had to learn to do that and learn how to push. And I kid you not, man, it seems like in the past 2 weeks of this hole that I've been in, I've been pushing out some of the best content.
Yeah.
So it's like if you learn how to push past yourself, sometimes you got it. And is it easy? Heck no. And that's what I'm saying. Being relentless, you have to get down and dirty sometimes. And is you have to push past yourself, and that's not a pretty sight. Because sometimes you have to tell yourself off. You might have to cut yourself out. Yeah. I mean, let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
And you may have to cry a little bit. But once you start pushing past yourself and understand the assignment of when you started this journey, because we start the journey and, you know, they tell us to think about who you want to become. But what we don't think about from where we are now and the person that we want to become is everything, all the hell that we're going to go through in between that time. We know we're going to experience some stuff. Yeah. There's some stuff that's going to jump out. Surprise. You got me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you got to know how to keep pushing past it.
Yeah.
And once you learn how to push past a few things, it becomes a little bit easier. But sometimes there's some moments that still hit you with a punch that kind of throws a blow at you. And it's like, okay, so what do I do in these moments? And I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
So I revitalize myself sometimes just by being alone. And so it goes into
work. My wife is the same way. I don't get y'all. I don't. Because is your wife an extrovert? I guess nature.
Believe it or not, she's an introvert.
Weird. That must be interesting. Where's the balance?
But I can't say she's probably a little bit more outgoing than me though.
Okay.
So I can't say that. Like she loves to go out and all this kind of stuff, and I'm kind of like, man, I'm good at the house.
I'm just trying to chill.
My downtime
saying, I'm just trying to chill, man. I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah, because my downtime for me is probably 2K or GTA or something like that. So yeah. So, but it's like you gotta learn how to move past that point, and then it comes into meditation, where I had to learn how to meditate and free my mind from everything that's going on around me. And one of the important things that I've learned recently is living in the time of now.
Okay.
And we can't control everything that happens to us. I can't control what this person did or what that person did that caused a blow. I can't control that. But what I can control is my now. That happened yesterday. Does it still affect me? Because, yeah, sometimes those blows linger. But I had to learn to live in the moment of now. What do I need to accomplish right now? So when I start channeling myself in meditation, I like to picture myself on a mountain somewhere because I love mountains. That's peaceful for me. So then that's when I start releasing all of those other thoughts that was running in my head. And once I release those other thoughts, then I get to focus on now and what I need to do in this moment. So that is how I learn how to focus on the assignment of what I need to do, the content that I need to create, because somebody still needs what I'm putting out. Though I'm hurting right now, they're on the break of no return, that I'm completely done with this. But then I see a video from K.Noel, and it just, okay, I see what I need to do. It shifts me.
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna use that. I like that. No, for real. I had to sit for a second. You sound. I love that you. I heard this in the videos as well. You sound very passionate.
Appreciate it.
You can't. I guess you really can't teach that, right? You can't go to like a workshop and I'm gonna give this fire to you. Like, you gotta find that fire, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good podcast title. Nope, not gonna do it. Let's go stay K.Noel. I've been doing that all of this season. It's just been people's names, just doing the name. Last time it was like, that's anyway. So I think what we've been talking about is just, finding that fire, but harnessing that fire, because you don't want it to become destructive. I was thinking about like superhero stuff. I see a little Batman in the background.
Oh yeah, man, Batman's the guy.
Okay, side note, who can Batman beat realistically? With what is his prep time about if he's the guy? Like, I don't get it, because Flash can destroy him. Like, I don't get it.
Let me tell you how. and Batman's not my favorite person just for any reason.
Okay.
I absolutely study Batman, and I study his leadership style. Batman knows everybody's weakness. Think about it.
He don't know when Flash coming though. That's what I'm saying. Think about it. He can know it, have all the prep time in the world, but like if Batman's just chilling on a mission one day and Flash just pops and just decides to go rogue, pow, I'm snapping your neck. That's it. You wasn't ready for it. You didn't have time to get the oil so I could slide on it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to think about, dang, what's that pool called that they got?
That what?
The pool in DC Comics. Everybody has that pool where they can put themselves in that pool and it brings them back to life or something.
Oh, the pit. It's the something pit. I know what you're talking about, but it's like at a cost or something.
Yeah,
you're gonna have me looking up stuff. It's a something pit where it's the water in it. Okay, it's beside the point.
Yes, what are talking about? but we know realistically, Batman also has all kind of gadgets.
Yeah.
So Flash may get him, but Batman also has the Bat Team too.
He got Alfred. Alfred getting old. Okay, every year
but he ain't got just Alfred though.
Robin left him. Nightwing barely dealing with him. We saw Titans. I'm sure you saw Titans on HBO.
Yes,
he ain't rocking with him like that. They barely friends.
Well, yeah.
That's neither here nor there. But the fire. I want to ask you, okay, because usually a lot of great things, and anybody that's listening, all the success stories that we hear, they come from a dark place.
Yeah.
Right. So to use that fire to you, because it's energy, like I think you're talking about transference, is energy being put towards anger, being put towards my marriage, my family, whatever else. So how do we use the pain, the trauma, to harness it into something good or effective or motivational?
Well, I've always been a leader.
Okay.
When I was in high school, the campus police used to tell me when I used to skip class, they would literally see me walking off campus to leave to skip class. They would tell me not to come back because they were like, you ain't nothing but trouble. Mm-hmm. So back then, of course, I was using my leadership skills for bad. And compared to now, I'm using it for good. Mm-hmm. And, just every superhero, like you said, they go rogue.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I may, and I'm guilty of this, I may overthink the process of, what I may say or how this may affect them, or even the videos when I'm making the video clip. How would this clip come off? I'm doing, making sure that, it doesn't, it projects the right type of image.
Okay.
So I'm always thinking about that, but I'm always staying in prayer too. And that is something I learned. I had to realize a few months ago that is the most essential thing that I can do, because let's be real about it. As we getting, our name gets out there more. People tend to get the big head.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle that type of pressure. Think about somebody that's, ballers, basketball players, love basketball. Their biggest dream is to make it to the NBA. Mm-hmm. But once they get there, and they may be the thing.
Yeah.
I hate to put it this way, but I'm gonna go there. Zion.
Okay. Oh yeah.
We and Duke is my favorite college basketball team.
Okay.
And we everybody had him in high regards. And I was hoping that, and he could bounce back.
Yeah, but right now.
But sometimes it gets to our head, the fame, the glory of it gets to our head, and we lose focus, we lose track. So I want to make sure I always remain grounded and remain focused, because any day I could go back. I can just, drop down from where I'm at. Mm-hmm. It can happen. It happens to anybody.
You got to realize where you, like you said, where you come from, and realize how blessed you are now.
Yeah.
It's very easy to compare yourself to other people, to things we see on social media all the time. I was listening to that song "Comparison Kills" by Jonathan McReynolds, and it's a really good song. If you haven't heard it, but it's just about like work, family. Chris, this is you Christmas time with the family. You pull up in the Honda, brother pull up in the Lexus. You like, dang, what have I been doing my whole life and my whole year? I've done nothing. But he might be struggling with the note, and your Honda paid off and everything is good. Right. And so it's and I think for men it's a little bit harder, to be honest. I think as far as like career ambitions, because usually, again, for all ladies out there, I'm sorry, but for me, this looks like it's like more of a societal body image thing. Yeah. And then tackling that along with, okay, do I want to be career minded, or if I'm too career minded, then I won't be able to have a husband, or it's just, they have a lot more kind of internal, but ours is looked at, especially black males, is external. Like, what do we have? Like, what are our goals? How much do we have in crypto? Like, what does our car look like? What's your thing? And so it's easy for us to kind of to get down on ourselves and to compare ourselves to other black men and getting our own feelings. Because I do think that guys are way more emotional, I say this all the time, than women. We got it bad. And that's where that a lot of that passivity comes from, is I don't want to talk about it. You don't care no way. Why would I say all this when you just gonna be like, but, or you do this anyway, or blah blah blah. It's like, why we try,
Man, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's part two, right? So they have that, and even in therapy, I talked about therapy a lot in season 1, and I got another one when I got here, because it seems like, maybe just like twice a month, I legit wake up on the wrong side of the bed, like the whole, like I'm under the bed. Yeah, nothing's wrong. That's what the guy was like. He was saying, he was like, well, what brought this on, and what made you feel this way? What traumatic event happened to where you just all day you just blah? I said, I don't know. Sometimes you wake up and be like, dang, I ain't feeling it. Like, why I gotta be something, but we're supposed to be, I'll say in the army, we're supposed to be hood, we're supposed to be that guy or whatever else. And I think us talking like this helps. It's a form of therapy, the barbershop feel, and it's just being honest, like you said. That's what resonated with me as well. Just being honest with yourself. And okay, cool. Having that mountain moment. Another good episode title, just saying. But having that mountain moments, like for me, I play in 2K, and I put on 2K, but Call of Duty. I go out and run with my dog or whatever. I'll talk to my brother. Me and him have gotten closer.
Yeah.
And so all those things I just named never come up in those bad times. Cause I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing. Right. I ain't got nobody. I can't do nothing to make myself feel better, to do whatever. But I just named 3. Right.
Right.
But when you in it, you feel like don't nobody understand, for one. I get what you're saying, Jay. K.Noel, I get what y'all saying, but nobody feel it like I feel it. You ain't here with me in this state, in this city right now, dealing with so-and-so in this moment. Like you don't get it. And I do, because yours is way more motivational than mine. Mine just be kind of a little bit everywhere. That's just me. But I do recommend that y'all find something like a K.Noel or Ariana to cling to have as a guide to know where you can go for that motivation. Like, okay, I'm feeling whatever. Hey, all I know, K.Noel be putting out some good stuff. Motivational, got the music behind it, relentless, right? And then let's just say like this, so too. How back in the day at church, they be like, hey, this may not be the church for you, but just go to a church. Yeah. Right. Same thing. Me and Kay might not be for y'all, but don't make that an excuse to not get that feeling fixed or to not address your trauma or your issues. Go to Coach Vic, go to, whoever else, right? All the other people that we've had in a podcast or whatever, and so you got to find that thing that you can hold on to. And I want to ask you too, usually it's like a quote, it's like a shirt, it could be like be really whatever, like a mantra we use that we cling on to, right? Like for me, I have like a scripture, or I say fake it till you make it a lot. Like fake motivation is the best motivation. Another one I do in the army is leadership is an action, not a position. So I got to remind myself not to be too whatever, because I'm going up in the ranks a little bit, So what do you have that you use? Something like short and sweet, like in the moment, in the heat of the moment, to where you can kind of like grab onto.
I actually use this quote with my company.
Okay.
All things motivate.
Okay.
You can find, no matter where we are, we can find some kind of motivation from where we are. Mm-hmm. We can go outside, look at the trees, the wind blowing the trees.
Yeah.
You can find some kind of motivation, but it comes in it's just like something you're saying. You got 3 things that you can find that can motivate you, that can inspire you, but we have to see it. So once you open your eyes to be able to see it, all things motivate. And of course, my quickest go-to is be relentless.
Yeah.
So it's just like all day, be relentless. And, when I think about be relentless, it also reminds me of the Mamba mentality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I look at Kobe, and, what he do to become like one of the greatest ball players, ever.
Of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think, and I was just literally just thinking about that today, what can I do now at this point in my life to make me even better? Mm-hmm. What are some things that I can do behind the scenes that could push me to be even better? I got to get in that mental gym and work even harder. I got to, because I was looking at, early this morning, I was looking at that Kobe and Shaq one-on-one interview that they did.
Yeah.
And Kobe was talking about how he used to get pissed off at Shaq because while he was in the gym working, Shaq was somewhere eating a hamburger and stuff. and I was thinking about that. I was like, man, while I'm working and stuff, everybody else is probably, hanging out and all that. Because don't get me wrong, I do still have fun. Yeah. And I can even say, like, when I was used to sell weed and stuff.
Yeah.
Why every other dope dealer was in the club partying Friday and Saturday.
You still out there getting it.
I'm making their money.
Exactly.
So I say that to say this. While everybody else is partying and something else or doing or scrolling through their social media and all of that kind of stuff, what are you doing? While everybody else can be scrolling through their social media and all that kind of stuff, I'm sitting here reading a book to make myself better. I'm sitting here looking at these videos to add to something that can make me a better person, to make me more relentless, to grow that relentless mindset. So, but always remember to have that balance though. I'm preaching that one because I'm learning the power of balance anyway. So
yeah, that's why I couldn't feel too bad. Like I think the one I did by myself, like last week, like 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, I had to give myself a break. But to the people that's listening too, like, yo, I'm tired. And I was like, what? It was some. Come on, what did I say? I said, y'all ain't gonna break me. Y'all ain't fit. I'm talking to like the camera to whoever out there, right? I said, I ain't gonna go crazy trying to do this. No, forget that. I took it a break though. We still coming out here. We still working behind the scenes, but you gotta just call a spade sometimes. I'm tired. Life is happening. It's okay. Like who am I really trying to impress? Who am I really trying to do? Whatever. Like, yes, you want to, be consistent and keep putting stuff out there, but at the same time, at what cost? So, and then you want to make what you're putting out quality and not just cause.
And that's the conversation we need to have. That life happens.
Yeah.
Shucks. I know my season 2 was longer than I expected because I was trying to take classes at the same time, and I hate science.
I hate math. I could do science all day, but 2 + 2 is hard.
but it had to take more of my focus.
Yeah.
If I wanted to get that A, it had to take more of my focus. And I think in the latter, I was taking a math class. I love doing numbers, but man, I don't know if they done changed up algebra or something. But when I got to the end, we got to the last few chapters. Algebra was looking a little different.
When numbers start being friends with letters, they start being friends with ladders and fractions.
Yeah. We need to talk about these tests because you expect me to remember all of these formulas.
And my thing is like, I ain't used it one time in my life.
Exactly.
I ain't used the Pythagorean theorem once. I just did my taxes. It took 5 minutes. Let's talk about your book. I don't want to forget the I see it in the background, right? The same book. See the book in the background? Yeah.
That's both of them.
It is. Oh, it's both of them. Oh, let's talk about both of them. So the one I have here is Unlocking the Treasures from Within, Be Relentless. So how did it come up? What was the motivation behind it? How do you write a book in the first place? Like, what was your process?
Well, first, Unlocking the Treasures from Within. That was the first book.
Okay.
So that was really something God just put in me. Unlocking those gifts, because so many times, they say, the cliche phrase is the richest place on earth is the graveyard.
Okay.
And that's realistic. We have people that don't help us, or I ain't even gonna say people that don't help us. Sometimes we just want to be complacent. And we don't want to live out our purpose. We just want to natural. Some people, and that's real. But if they realize the potential and the greatness that they have in them, if God could just put a mirror in our face and be like, son, daughter, this is who you are. I wish it was that easy though.
I feel like he should do something like, give me some type of cheat code once a year for my birthday. Like, just go here, and then that's how he'll tell you. Anyway, like if I'm doing right, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to church, paying tithes, all the good things, treat my wife right, ain't hurt nobody. You could run me a vision once a year. Just be like, move to Texas. That's all I need. Move to Texas. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I'll be honest, the process for unlocking the treasure from within, man, I absolutely love that process.
Okay.
Because it was so creative. like on the front cover, that's actually my best friend. And the person who did the cover, I told them, God gave me the vision of how I wanted it. We actually went into the store. What store is that? They have Hobby Lobby, I think.
Yeah.
And we found the treasure chest with the camera and all, and took a picture of him open the treasure chest. Okay. I wasn't fit to go. I wasn't fit to go in there and buy it when that's all I need the treasure chest for.
Read the magazine and I'll put it right back.
Yeah. So even, when it came to the chapters and stuff, I had different pictures. A lot of people helped me in the process of that book, willing to, do this and that. But it gave biblical principles that God gave me on, unlocking our treasures from within. Because, let's be real about it. A lot of us need that help because we get in the prophetic and God says, well, this is what God is saying. But after that, we and everybody, they'll do their little praise and dance, after that. But what happens after that?
After the feel goods on Sunday, what you do on Monday?
Yeah. We go back to our normal routine.
Yeah.
We don't unlock those gifts. We go back to being basically basic. I hate to say it that way.
Yeah.
But if you realize that the treasures and the gifts, the value of those treasures, and if you just unlock those, man. But we spend so much time wondering what's going on with Kanye and his replica girlfriend.
He on the second one now. Him and Pete Davis, whoever his dude name is. I swear to you, if I did not have a podcast, I would be on social media. We would never talk. You just have to text me, bro. I'm just like, but no, okay. So if I'm saying, well, how do I unlock the gifts, Jay? Okay, how do I begin to do that? What's step one?
So first starts with prayer.
Okay. What if I don't believe in God?
Well, that's what I was about to say. If you believe in it, but you can also say meditation.
Okay.
My stomach talking, man.
Sorry. My bad.
But meditation, because sometimes I was talking about meditation earlier to move out all of the negative, everything out of the way. Sometimes when you're in meditation, that can help you see things clearer. It can help you to understand more of seeing who you can be. And sometimes who we are is innocent is right there in our face anyway. Sometimes who we are, we're doing it on a daily basis and we don't even realize it. A person that's a supervisor or something, they may not even be a supervisor. They may just like to encourage their coworkers every single day, but not even realize what they're doing is motivational speaking. Or somebody that can write a lot of different great blogs or something. Yeah. Not even realize that's a book.
Okay, now I want to pray. Now, what does that look like? I'm praying, God, what are my gifts? Was that what you say or what?
Show me who I
am. Okay.
And sometimes through fasting, prayer, he will show us. God showed Moses who he was. And he even told Moses, I want to use you as my mouthpiece. But see, here's the thing. God will show us who we are, but then our insecurities start talking.
Ooh. Okay.
Moses' insecurities of his speech, thinking, he's not this eloquent speaker like this. So who am I that I can do this? And we doubt we're doubting what God is telling us. Like, bro, really? You asked for this stuff and God starts showing you,
right?
And now you doubt it.
I think too, it checks us, it convicts us. It should. It's okay. It's here now, but now I gotta work. Oh, God forbid, I gotta go through some stuff. Well, life was so easy, man. Before I prayed, before I meditated, y'all, I was doing just fine. Went to my job. I was doing this. I go on a date once a week, on a vacation twice a year. Life is good. But now I want better for myself, and it shouldn't be this hard. I've heard that so many times. What? Well, you different. You just got it in you. I ain't got it like that. I don't know what that's like. I've heard people say that, and I was like, well, I said I'm supposed to look foreign to you.
Yeah.
I said Kobe looks foreign to me. I'm trying to get that mom mentality. Kobe looked different than everybody else in the NBA for a reason.
No doubt.
You think about it. I'm saying, like, we always see these people. Oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. They're doing the work. God does bless you. Don't get me wrong. God does bless you to be, be naturally talented at one thing over the other. Sure. Once you find that thing, you're still at the bottom.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this thing that I gave you? It's like, and I always use kids as an example, because great example ever, as far as God to us versus like a father to a son, or whatever. You give the kid the Legos, whatever they make with it is on them.
Wow.
It could be a straight, how kids, the only thing you really can make is like skyscrapers, is like buildings. Hey, it's the difference between the kid just making buildings versus the one that made the cheetah. How did he make the cheetah? You got a tail and everything, It's all about what you do with the information. And I think a lot of what you do, and I guess me too, is just constantly reminding people to just get it for it to stick. Because I'll be honest with you, I looked at when I started following Ari and all the rest of them, even Coach Vic, I was like, y'all post a lot. I was like, y'all just like do a 18 on Sunday, like y'all just plan it out through Canva or something and just put all this. I was like, how do y'all do this legit every time, man? I swear, like one of y'all will pop up. I'm like, this is annoying. I did. I was, but as it kept going, one of them hit me. I think all of y'all pretty much, we all into the timeline. So, but one of them hit me, I was like, oh, that's fire. And I'm always leaving like flame emojis wherever I go. But I was like, that's fire, right? But I was like, no. And so then it hit me. I'm like, you have to like keep putting stuff out, because think about that one friend or that one person that's always telling you the right thing to do. You're like, nah, man. I ain't gonna do that now. But one day it just stuck for some reason, And then you look at it from our perspective, it's like, we got to keep putting stuff out. And I wanted to go back to one thing before we kept going. Some of my best videos, like for me too, have been in my downtime, because I had a thing with like my siblings. I wanted to be more close to my siblings. And one video I made, I legit was like, all right, y'all, this for us. It's like a TikTok video. And I'll send it to you. I was like, we ain't gonna care about what people think about us. We ain't gonna care about the relationships, that we want to cultivate, but they don't really care about it. Forget them. We're gonna focus on us. We're gonna do what? It's just self-love, right? One of the biggest videos I had, no boost, nothing. And people like hit me like, yeah, man, I felt that. But when I'm taking time to put stuff together as a to be motivation, it does, it's cool, but it's not hitting like I wanted to hit.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get in my feelings, now that's the one that's y'all like. It's
man, I got this one video, and I'm talking about, it done hit 3,000 views.
Yeah.
And usually when I create videos, sometimes I have one, I'm not telling them to purchase my book or look at my podcast or YouTube or something like that. I have those every now and then. This one particular video, I didn't have no call to action, nothing. And it's hitting 3,000. I mean, I think I probably done hit 100 likes on it now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, really? Like, come on, man.
That's how it be. And so I'm actually gonna use that. Every next time I have like a downtime, I'm gonna try to create, because I only want to do nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna try that and see what happens. So, to be continued. Let's get to the second book, and then we got our last two segments, and we'll be out of here. So I think that says pays. Let's take it back.
What?
The second book. I want to make sure we touch on both of them.
No, that's Be Relentless.
Okay, that's the black. Oh, okay. Be Relentless. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Now, right here.
Sure.
That's the business logo.
Yeah.
I do No Days Left Behind videos on Fridays.
Dope.
That's that. And then that's the of course my podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah. I took that course through Carl. That be
I did the same thing too. Did you like
it? We'll talk about that after.
I'll say it. This is no tact talk, man. We got to do it. Me and Coach Vic talked about. We went through the same class together.
Yeah, me and Vic talked about. I kind of expected more.
Come on. I mean, he did help me with like some of the technical aspects, like the camera.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
What got me is like y'all record this all in one day for one. Y'all was wearing the same clothes every session.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
The same clothes. It's like he was at that table. All right, lesson 1. Pause, drink a cup of water. Lesson 2. It's like that's one thing, but whatever. And then he said that what got me, okay, cool. It's gonna be for the people who day one Android flip, whatever, versus some people who kind of been in it for a minute.
Yeah.
And I didn't
I learned some things, but I took somebody else's class and I learned even more from them. But now I will give it to them. I did learn, like the background and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah. I did, learn that, that kind of stuff. But now that now I need to go back and look at the videos, because one thing somebody taught me, especially when you batch recording, you got to change clothes, man. Make it at least look like a different day.
Come on. When you just doing multiple things. Yeah. So that's why, like, even now, I got the TV. I got something you can look at. I'm filling up the space.
Yeah.
In a bright color. I learned some stuff, but as far I'm thinking about content creation.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Duh. Like, it's like, So okay. Last 2 segments here. The first season, it was if you have any superpower, what would it be? But we're off that now. So the second session is my wife, I'm producer, real time producer. We have a hat. We have a bunch of ideas in the hat we threw in before season 2 started. A bunch of questions rather. And this time it was, if you had to lose one of your 5 senses, what would it be and why? So that's sense of smell, taste, hearing, sight, I think feel. So if you, like forever, if you had to lose one of them forever, what would it be and why?
Man, you need the Jeopardy music for this.
Okay, I mean, make sure I put it in there. I make sure I put it in there.
Dang. As crazy as it sounds, I think I would go with smell.
Then you couldn't taste nothing.
Wait.
No, you can't. Like, look it up. If you can't smell, you can't taste your food.
So why do I have the option of smell or taste it?
I'm just trying to help out.
So if I said taste, does that mean I can't smell?
Nope. If you can't taste, you still can smell. That's just science.
You know what? Forget it. I'm stick with smell.
Okay.
Because if I can't taste it, but I can still smell it, and I'm a picky eater. So if I can't smell it,
but you can't taste it though, like by science, like for real, like
it's something. And now you don't tell me that, so it's just a win-win. I mean, I can just eat whatever. So,
but then but you wouldn't know if something like was too salty, and now you got like issues with heart, blood pressure. You wouldn't know if it's too sweet. Now you got diabetes. you wouldn't know what to stop. You just be like, oh, boom. Now you could have an idea, I guess, at this stage in your life where like, I guess is whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I had some salty pot roast the other day. Someone should put too much salt in it. I could have died. I had to stop eating it. Who knows?
Dang.
For me, now I had to think about this. I think because the feeling popped up to me first, like I don't know how important that would be to feel. Like the back of my phone, I like the way this feels because it's like kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know how important that is. But then like I couldn't feel my wife,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, well, dang. And then is it like all feeling? So if I'm having sex, I was like,
man.
Now, I couldn't do sight or hearing. Goodness. I think I would have to go. Well, no. Well, then I'm in podcasting. I said, I wouldn't mind hearing like a C. I could learn sign language, you know. I think I'd probably do taste as well. And you say taste?
I said the smell, but
Well, I do
of course
taste.
I'll lose it. But I look at it this way too. So yeah, of course my wife would know I was lying if I said if I'm telling her it tastes good. But if somebody didn't know you and everybody else saying it tastes nasty, you could be like, it tastes, and your smile is really genuine.
You just have to watch other people and their responses, like kind of go off of them. What do they think? Is this good? Yeah, it's kind of salty. Yeah, it's kind of saucy, you know. Yeah, I'll go with taste.
I make them feel good. I just tell them it tastes good.
I guess you gotta watch your friends then, make sure they can okay. The last segment, I always want to make sure that people get some word, no matter what we talk about in the podcast. I always want to make sure that people get some word. Yeah. Scripture, whether you believe or not, if you don't believe in God, I'm sorry, just press pause, whatever. But this one is, let me go back to my Bible app. 1 Corinthians 2:9, I'm pretty sure. And then so what's good about it for you is that this is a scripture that has never been used in the podcast. It will never be used again, right? This is you. It's proprietary to K.Noel, right? And I always tell people when I run out of scriptures, it will just be like Jesus wept or something. And we'll cross that bridge. Like in the beginning, God created. And I will make it work. I will make it work. But no, it's 1 Corinthians 2:9. I want to read it in multiple, just like maybe like 2 or 3 translations, because I'm reading scripture. You probably know this as well. You want to read it in a couple of different translations. If you don't know what that is, for the people that's listening, it's multiple interpretations of the Bible. So like the one that you go to church with might be like a KJV, a King James version that has all like the thuses and the thous and the these. And then the one that's like a Good News translation, it might be it might be too much. Like it'd be like, what's up, man? Jesus, like, we love you, like type stuff. But usually I stay within like the ESV, English Standard Version, NIV, somewhere around there. So this one is ESV first. It says, but as it is written, what no eye has seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined, what God has prepared for those who love him. And then I'll go to, let's say, NLT. Let's be fancy. Let's go to New Living Translation. This is what the scriptures mean when they say, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. A little bit more context, right? So it's a lot of what we talked about, and I'll say what I mean about it, and then we'll feel about it. You can kind of give us your spin, and we'll be out of here. Universe or God, whatever that means for you, for who's ever listening. We just happen to believe that God is the dopest thing since sliced bread, right? So I know that as humans, we're finite, right? The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is infinite. So once you realize that, you become a little bit smaller, but it really ain't about you, right? What you do, what I do, it's not about us. It's about the people that's listening. It's using our gifts for other people. Whether we become ET or not, hey, ideally we should be fulfilled in a perfect, cookie cutter answer, right? But when you read the scripture, I'm big on words. God has prepared something for you. Like no eye has seen, no ear has heard, because the blessing that God has for us is just for us. Like other stuff, my money, fame, attention, likes could be a byproduct of what thing that God gave us, but it's not. But we have that thing. We have that personal connection. So it's something that you can do that I'll never be able to do. It's just a fact. It's people that you let's say you being an introvert. Is you people will be able to touch people that I will never be able to touch. I'm just so right. And then I'm never able to just like, hey man, just chill. Like, no, I can't do that. I'm extroverted, whatever you want to call it. And so it's knowing that we're special for one, but God, because of that, he has prepared something just for us. And then, it does say at the end, for those who love him. So we can't be out here acting crazy, then praying to God, Lord, I want to go be to the next level, but you out here sliding, bro, sliding people DMs you ain't supposed to be sliding to, or whatever, right? So it's balanced, as we talked about. And so and as the preacher I had in Austin, he's like, as you chew on this scripture or the thought or have your mountain moment, whatever it looks like for you, I think we generally know what that thing is for us, what that conviction is for us, to where we get to a place where, okay, cool. Now, hey God, now we holding him accountable. God, I'm out here, I'm outside, I'm doing this thing. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like you say, I'm fasting, I'm praying, I'm having meditation, whatever it looks like. Hey, universe, you owe this to me. I am putting out good vibes in the universe, so I should receive it back, And so, and then when we start acting like that, then it's like, okay, cool. I'm getting what I deserve. Yes, we're being humble, but like, I've earned this because I put in the work, and you become more fulfilled. So that's what I got. What you got?
I think about that one particular thing. It reminds me of what was the scripture in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
Before the earth was formed, I knew you.
Yeah.
God already knows what he has for you. But it's in order. But the thing is, you have to line yourself up with God. Okay. Line yourself up with his will. Trust God. Obey his word.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor as you love God. And God has so many great things, so many possibilities, so many things line up ahead for you that you didn't even think about, that you didn't even fathom would ever happen. And that's what's so amazing about God, because it's like, wow, God, I didn't even realize that was in me, or wow, God, this is really what's happening. Is this what you really telling me who I am? But you never even imagine it. You never even fathom it. I don't have kids, but my mom and my dad, they always talk about, how proud of me they are. And I can just imagine, because this person that I birthed, I never even imagined that he would be a writer, a speaker, creating a podcast, doing all of these things. So neither has it entered into the heart of man what God was going to do with this particular person. Mm-hmm. But you have to trust and you have to believe that God has some incredible things for your life that you didn't even imagine. We like to put together, oh, this is what I'm going to be and all of this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But no, God got something even better than that for you.
Yeah.
But you have to trust him and trust his process.
Fire emojis. I want to I always try to do this publicly, man. You're dope. All right. I want to give you your flowers while you're here. You're amazing. I love what you're putting out. Thank you for gracing the airways that is the No Tact Talk podcast. If nobody else ever tell you what you're putting out, I do believe it is high value content.
I appreciate it.
I do feel like it's coming from a good place. You're not just out here just trying to do, people just be motivational just to I really feel like it comes from a place of you care, from a place of love, and from one black man to another, bro. You doing this, you out here.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and we need to do more of that. And I can't wait to be on yours. Yes, it's gonna be a part 2, baby.
Absolutely.
But anything else you got for the people before we out?
No, man. I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm loving the podcast. I'm loving the stuff that you're doing, man. Yep. Congrats on the show that you just added to your network.
We coming. It's called Now Buffering. It's an awesome young lady. She's talking about just going through life. And we trying to figure this thing out. And she goes through her ebbs and flows of her life and what it's like to be, I wanted a woman too on the network as well, because to give me that feminine perspective, and she's super dope and super authentic. So I can't wait to bring her on for sure.
Awesome, man. But that's all I got, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been another edition of the No Tact Talk podcast. It's always a reminder to live life on purpose and to always live with a little no tact in your life. Peace.